Water is fundamental for life, so for my learning scenario topic, I choose for my students to learn about water. Students of 12 to 14 years will be learning about the relations between water, climate change, waste, air and trees, but also how students relate with water and how they can protect it through natural sciences and chemistry lessons. In my learning scenario, I will also have non-STEAM subjects: English, arts and citizenship and development. At the end of this learning scenario, I want students to become aware that human activities cause a change of events that may have negative effects on the ecosystem balance, and that they can have an important impact protecting water by alerting and acting differently in their lives, together with their parents. The water learning scenario contains 8 sessions and was designed to help students to better understand more complex content like water pollution, plastic soup, climate change, CO2 footprint, deforestation, and that everything is related. Students come up on a day-to-day life with news about climate change and environmental problems. This learning scenario helps them to find some solutions to those problems. Awareness is the basis for change, and students learn by discussing, investigating, and doing. During the lesson, students learn about water and calculate their water footprint. They create posters with ideas and how to save water and share them in social media as a raising awareness campaign among their peers. Moreover, students will interview a person responsible for technical supplies in the school to learn about measures taken for saving water. As a result, they create a poster with actions taken and their own ideas for improvement. To learn more about fresh water in their city and how it is cleaned, the teacher organizes a visit to a water plant. In the next lesson, students learn about oceans, their role, and problems they are facing. After that, students have a visit to the local aquarium or watch a video excursion. In the outdoor activity, students clean beaches or a park from plastic and from the photo reportage. Prepare an article for the school newspaper. The concluding session is dedicated to air, CO2 emissions and deforestation problems. Students are also offered to take part in tree planting activity if there is such an opportunity to organize one. The whole learning scenario is based on real-life problems while working on 21st century skills development. And what is more important, it helps students to understand that their actions matter. This learning scenario is student-centered and focused on making students believe that their actions really matter. My main inspiration comes from the Terra Mission materials about water, climate change, trees, air and waste. The biggest difficulty was selecting the materials, as there are many interesting ones. So the Terra Mission materials were the starting point for writing my learning scenario. Firstly, I watched the presentations and videos in order to identify key vocabulary that could be useful in helping my students to understand the topic at hand, like water cycle, plastic soup, acidification, photosynthesis, microplastics, CO2 footprint, deforestation. After that, I made a mind map for the lessons and how the topics could correlate. I searched in the curriculum of the different disciplines for common skills and abilities that students have to acquire and need to train, like reasoning, analyzing, collaboration, critical thinking, and problem solving. I had to prepare the lessons for online classes too, which was very challenging. Time management was also another challenge, both in working with students and in preparing learning scenario with other teachers. Each class begins with one activity that arouses students' curiosity in the subject, like a question, a small problem, a photo, a simple experiment, or pictures. I also use digital online tools to gather students' responses, like Mentimeter and Padlet, followed by class discussions. This learning scenario uses different approaches to learning, including problem-based learning, STEAM learning, collaborative learning, mobile learning, outdoor education, peer learning, lifelong learning, and guided learning. Instead of memorizing facts and materials, students learn by doing. This allows them to build their knowledge and link the issues. At the end of the learning scenario, students will have learning products, posters, photo reportages, articles, a sculpture to share with the whole school by making an exhibition and dissemination in the school page. Next time, when I implement this learning scenario, I will give more time to my students for the creative activities. It is very important to prepare all the necessary materials in advance. This way, we don't waste time during the lessons and the students will remain focused on the activities. Students enjoy mostly participating in the outdoor experiences. The visits to the drinking water plant and the aquarium allowed them to connect to the real world. The visit to the drinking water plant took about 1 hour to organize. Arrange the transport, creating the visit information form and parental consent, fill in the Google form for insertion of the activity in the school's activities plan, make the visit scheduling map, and send emails to accompanying teachers. And it lasts about 4 hours. Students could see how complex the process of treating water collected from nature is to transform it into drinking water, the different treatments to which it is subjected, and the reagents used. They also visit the laboratory, where daily laboratory analyses are carried out to control and guarantee the quality of the water. Admire the dimension of the factory, the control room, the sludge park, and the photovoltaic panels for electricity production that help mitigate climate change. Students prepare questions for technicians in advance, in a collaborative work, as well as an individual effort. Each student drafts 3 open-ended questions, and in groups of 4, students checked each other's feedback. They learned a lot and their feedback on the activity was very positive. Students played a quiz based on the discoveries of the visits and the results were excellent. The visit to the aquarium took 1 hour to organize and it lasted 2 hours. Students had direct contact with the sea, discovering the fauna and flora of the Aguda Sea in the 15 aquariums. The visit to the Fishery Museum allowed them to understand the importance of this artisanal activity for the surrounding population. These visits increased their awareness of the coast, its biodiversity, and the dangers to which it is subject. Students made a photo reportage of the visit. In advance, they had split the areas: aquariums, fishing, museum, exhibitions, and the beach. Afterwards, they shared it with the whole class and prepare an exhibition for the school titled Knowing to Love, Love to Protect. At the Aguda beach, they collected trash in about 300 meters of the sand with the help of 2 parents. This activity took 30 minutes and involved the preparation of waste collection material and sand samples for further analysis to determine the amount of microplastics. The plastic collected will be used to create a sculpture of a tree for exhibition. Through voluntary cleaning action, they were allowed to be active citizens and participate in solving the problem of aquatic pollution and biodiversity loss. They felt that they could help. My recommendations to other teachers if they want to implement an outdoor activity are: despite the work underlying the organization of outdoor activities, the benefits for teachers and students are enormous. Study visits are a great teaching tool that complements the school curriculum. They allow the assimilation of learning carried out in the classroom context, as they are a way for students to learn about new realities and perspectives. On the other hand, field trips are a stimulus and a motivation for students and teachers. My students really enjoy the use of online digital tools and to get access to knowledge through smartphones and tablets. They were definitely eager to learn more by working in groups. Collaborative learning helped them to see each other's perspective and solve problems more easily. They like the peer assessment activities. They analyze each other's work using simple rubrics that allow them to better understand their own products. I learned so much from designing and implementing my learning scenarios in Terra Mission materials in the classroom. It helped me to generate new ideas around which I could construct my learning scenario. It also brought benefits to my students because they could see how the materials that they were learning in class were applicable to the real world, and this helped them to be more engaged during our lessons. This way of learning encourages students to think critically and to connect smaller parts into the large one. By giving students the chance to be creative in different ways and always adapt their ideas as much as possible, students were actively involved in the learning process. They really felt that they helped the school and their families to get greener. And thanks to Terra Mission, they want to do more. They have lots of ideas to develop during the school year.
Life Terra is co-financed by the European Commission through the LIFE program.